Kai Greene came from the back. He beat everybody. He beat the Branch Warren. He beat the Dexter Jackson. He beat the Victor Martinez. He came there. And at the end of the day, the big boss, he was protected.
Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates and we got some bodybuilding drama. Actually, quite a bit of drama in this video. It's not my fault. This is what is happening out there. I'm just covering it, and if you guys enjoy it, watch it. If you don't, move on. Oh, and yeah guys, we're only 2 weeks away from 2026, so there is 2 weeks left until the new year. And guys, I only lack like 700, 600 subscribers to reach that 60k mark. It would be really cool if I got it before the New Year's. So if you guys are watching this channel, you're enjoying the videos, you're watching it every single day, you're starting to love it slowly maybe, but you haven't subscribed yet, just do me a favor please and click the subscribe button. It will mean a lot to me, guys. And the first thing we'll talk about today is not gonna be Kai Greene versus Phil Heath. We'll leave that for the end of this video. First, we got something more current, more recent. It's two bodybuilders of the day got into a beef. Which bodybuilders? Actually, it's one of the top 212 guys at the Mr. Olympia, Kerith Bajo, who also competed in the Open as well, and Beef Stew. What happened between them? Let me play a video that Kerith made about Beef Stew, then we'll talk about it.
I'm just here watching some file footage of last year's competitive season, and first up was the Texas Pro. Still flabbergasted that I placed 7th because I thought I brought an insane look. You know, I was kind of floored when I was moved down to second callouts, and when I was actually moved in second callouts, I just noticed that Stu Sutherland waved by, and it's kind of, you know, mind-blowing to me because I've always been cool with you, Stu. You know, and I don't know, I was kind of cute though, you know, it was real cute. But didn't I beat you at the Texas Pro, bro? Anyhow, I hope you're recovering well. And if you ever want to run it back, just say the show, please. You know, say the show. But I did make first call outs though. Where were you at? And another thing, I'm a professional. We're all professionals on stage. Conduct yourself as a professional. Hiding your waist by bending over, it's so distasteful. Stand upright and present.
Alright, here's the moment. They send Kerith away, and Beef Stew is kind of looking at his direction and waving and smiling. Does it look like something else? Is he waving to somebody else? At the exact moment Kerith left, what would be the chances of this being a coincidence? A Beef Stew waving to somebody else. Maybe somebody, I don't know, at the judging table. It doesn't look like he's waving to somebody in the audience. Maybe somebody who is close to the judging table to the side. I don't know. I'm trying to look at this objectively, but it really does look like he's waving at Kerith Bajo after he left the call-out. At least that's what Kerith thinks, and I think it's pretty reasonable to think that, to feel that way. But did he ask Beef Stew about this? It seems like he didn't. But we do have an explanation from Beef Stew in Kerith's comments. So in the caption of the video Kerith posted, he tags Beef Stew and says, "Here I was thinking you were a class act. Damn, champ, you got one past me. Better luck next time." And Beef Stew replies. He says, "I was waving to someone in the audience, not to you? Question mark?" And then he also adds, "You can tell pretty clearly from the video that I'm waving out into the audience, not waving at the direction you went, directly to my left. I am very confused by your interpretation of what you're seeing here." Hell, I mean, let's take a look at this one more time, because that's what Beef Stew is saying. Is he really waving to the audience? It doesn't really look like he's waving to the audience. I don't know, guys. One more time. Could Kerith be wrong? Could I be wrong? It looks like he's actually waving to him, and I think I remember this moment as well. I thought it was funny. When you see this, you might think they have a rivalry of a sort. Nothing super negative, but maybe they are rivals, maybe they don't like each other. There's nothing disrespectful here, even if he waved to Kerith Bajo. This is not some terrible thing to do. Maybe it's not the best example of a great sportsmanship, but it's not a terrible thing to do. It's entertaining, at least. So from what I'm seeing, it looks like he is waving Kerith goodbye. But if that is the case, why wouldn't he just say it in the comments? Admit it. Why would he be lying about it now? If he committed to it at that time, he knew what he was doing, so I guess he would just say it. Or maybe he matured in this last year and now he thinks this was a bad move and he's trying to do some damage control by denying that that was his intention. I don't know. If you look at the comments, however, you will see that basically everybody in the comments is against Kerith and basically saying that this was not the case. This guy says, ouch, bad take, should probably have reached out to Stu first here, can just remove the video and forget it happened, no need for unnecessary drama here, that would be the professional thing to do. And Kerith says no and no, if you were on the receiving end of this, you wouldn't have called and you would see exactly as I see it, end of story. Another guy says, you looked great, no doubt. I'd have to hear from Stu. I've talked to him a bit and he seems like a great guy and not petty in that way. I'd like to hear his explanation. Kerith replies, nah, let's not sugarcoat it. We're adults and we don't do things like that on the professional stage. It's distasteful any way you flip it. Now, do I think Beef Stew is that kind of a guy? I'm not sure, honestly. Recently, I had an issue with him. Actually, he had an issue with me when he talked about his next move and how he's uncertain about what he's gonna do, how he's not happy with the results, with him placing lower and lower progressively over the last 2 years. He was not sure what he's gonna do next. And in my thumbnail of the video, I wrote retiring question mark. And he was upset about that. He told me I'm spreading misinformation, I'm bad at my job. It was just a thumbnail, it was just some sensationalism, some clickbait, call it what you will, it doesn't matter. It's a part of this thing. You can't just make dry and raw thumbnails. Nobody's gonna click on the video. Let's be real, guys, everybody does it. That's how this game is played on YouTube, in any kind of media, it's normal. So he was upset with me writing that in a thumbnail, and I get him for being upset about that, but he did say some nasty things actually in that story he made about me, even though I didn't say he's retiring in the video. I just read this and he says, I don't know what's next for me. This year has been a gut punch. My placings have gotten worse over my 3 pro seasons so far, and the goal of making it to the Olympia is getting more and more distant. I used to believe I had what it takes, but I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not quitting, blah blah blah. So he mentions the word quitting. I'm asking a question, is he retiring? And he's upset about that. So this guy is obviously one of those emotional bodybuilders, like for example Martin Fitzwater. There are many like that. You guys probably remember when he got into the beef with Fuad because Fuad didn't want to sponsor him. He said some nasty things about Fuad, which was also completely uncalled for. I remember that. Fuad was like, are you a man or a child? So what Kerith is saying here doesn't seem surprising to me, guys, even though everybody in comments is basically agreeing with Beef Stew. I don't know if I see it that way. Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if that was the case, and honestly, I don't see it. I don't see that he's waving and looking at the audience. It seems like he's looking to the side where Kerith left. Now, Beef Stew also posted a story in which he says, you know what I say about assuming things, it makes an ass out of you and me, but mostly you. All that being said, I can't say I dislike Beef Stew. I like his sense of humor. He has the dark sense of humor and he's actually pretty funny. So I liked him when he burst into the scene. As a bodybuilder, obviously he has been failing, not looking great the last couple of years, but that's not the point here. The point is whether he did this or not. The way I see it, he absolutely did do it. Now he's trying to deny it. I don't know why he's denying it. It's not that bad of a thing. Obviously, Kerith took it very personally based on his response and his comments and also his video that he made. You guys tell me down below, do you think this is exactly what happened? As you can see, Kerith is not accepting anything else other than that. He's really certain that that was the way it happened, the way it went down. But you guys tell me down below, what do you think? And if it was the case, do you think this was a terrible thing, really bad sportsmanship? Whatever you think, tell me down below in the comments. All right, the next thing we got is something very interesting. So recently, guys, you may have noticed there was a lot of if you follow Iain Valliere and Fouad Abiad and those guys, there is a lot of talk about Iain Valliere potentially coming back. And in his videos where he's training, he does look like he's definitely juicing again. I mean, check out this video that he posted on his IG. He is looking big, man. Like, those arms blew up again. He has much more thickness now, so he's definitely working on getting bigger. His comeback has become a meme. Everybody in the comments of his videos is saying that. So is he actually coming back? Well, I got some news for you guys in this video, and it's not just something I saw on IG. It's actually an information from somebody, an information that hasn't been made public yet and probably never will be. I mean, I guess it will be after I make this video, but Iain actually made a YouTube video in which he's talking about his comeback. Let's first hear what he has to say.
The short answer is, I don't know. I'm going to start ramping things up. As you can see, I've already started, and see how things go over the next few months. There's obviously a fear to push myself from a anabolic standpoint, and the food. It's mentally kind of hard to get back into it. I don't know. That's where I'm at. So I don't know.
He doesn't know. Or does he? Because I think he does know, and the information that I got about him is from a bodybuilder, another popular bodybuilder who went to Mexico, where Iain went as well, to do some stem cell treatment for his chest. You guys remember what happened to his chest at the end of his career? It got super separated. He lost all this middle part, and we thought maybe it can be fixed with some stem cells the same way we hoped for Big Ramy, but it's gonna be difficult to get that fixed. And the guy that was there actually saw a photo of Iain's chest, a recent photo of Iain's chest, and says it's all gone. The whole middle part is completely gone, and because of that, he will never step on the stage back again, and he will never show us his chest. That's what the guy told me. But now, with this new PMMA thing, I don't know how new it is, but if Derek is doing it, if Sarah Villegas, but Natalia Coelho is doing it, then Iain can do it as well and fix that problem with his chest. Why not? I mean, he said it himself. He's perfectly fine with that. It's not about training or effort or muscle. It's just about who looks good and who doesn't. Which, by the way, I completely disagree with. Bodybuilding shouldn't be just about who looks the best. It should be about the muscle. We need to see the muscle fibers on the bodybuilders. But in this case, guys, this is probably the only justifiable situation where a bodybuilder maybe should be allowed to do something like this. And if you're lacking a body part, you want your chest to be bigger, you want bigger biceps, then doing procedures like that would not be moral or by the rules. But in this case, if you literally lack a part of the muscle because of, I don't know, an injury, nerve damage, and you want to fix just that one part so your physique looks normal and everything else can flow well with it, then yeah, I guess this is justifiable. But based on the way Iain was talking about the SEO and the PMMA, I'm sure his physique is already full of oil. I'm sure all of the body parts are stuffed with the SEO, but he probably plans on doing this before he makes the decision whether he's going to compete or not. But he's probably going to do it anyways just to look more aesthetic, because from what I'm hearing, it went all the way. It's gone completely. His entire mid-chest is gone, and it will never look normal again unless he does a surgery, a procedure, plastic surgery, basically like this. Hey, maybe doing too much SEO is what caused it in the first place. We saw the same thing with his lats. And when you inject a body part so many times with those long and thick needles, it can definitely create necrosis. Same thing happened to Milos Sarcev. He was very open about it. So maybe this is exactly why this happened to Iain. He's gonna try and fix it basically kinda in a similar way. At least that's what I'm expecting. But you guys tell me down below, what do you think? Will we see Iain on stage ever again? Alright, and finally, let's talk about this Kai Greene versus Phil Heath thing. I mean, It is a thing of the past. Kai is now, I guess, trying to stay relevant by talking about this. His comeback story is not really believable anymore. We all gave up on him. I mean, a long time ago. Now we're about to give up on Big Ramy. Iain Valliere is next, I'm guessing. We'll see. Maybe he actually comes back. I think he might do it, but we'll see about that. As far as Kai Greene versus Phil Heath, basically, what Kai is saying now is that Phil Heath was protected by the IFBB Pro League and the Mr. Olympia people. Let's hear this very quickly.
That Phil Heath also had a lot of help. He had a lot of help, and it's undeniable. That I'm not talking out my. There are people that know that Phil Heath had a lot of help. And I believe it.
Exposing what?
Well, he had a lot of help with just like how the judging went down.
Oh, Kai, come on. They're going to hate on you for this, man. They're going to say, come on.
Hey, man, call a spade a spade. Phil Heath was protected. I know to get here, Phil. You put on 4 pounds of muscle this year, Fred. But Kai Greene came from the back. He was 20th. He was 25. He beat everybody. He beat the Branch Warrens. He beat the Johnny Jacksons. He beat the Dexter Jacksons. He beat the Victor Martinez's. He came there. He worked and worked and worked. And at the end of the day, the big boss, he was protected.
Alright, now back in the day when we had this rivalry, Phil Heath versus Kai Greene, I was following bodybuilding very closely at that time. Louis Marco was big on YouTube and I watched his videos regularly. He was basically my inspiration to start my channel one day. And at that time, nobody liked Phil Heath. Everybody hated on Phil the way everybody's hating on Derek these days. And everybody loved Kai Greene. Me, personally, I didn't like either of them, to be honest. I thought Kai was too fake and I thought Phil was super arrogant, so I didn't like either of them, but I liked Phil's physique more. I thought he deserved to win every single Mr. Olympia he won. I was so sure about that. It was very close, it was an amazing rivalry, it was a great battle every Mr. Olympia, but do I think Kai was actually robbed at a single Mr. Olympia? Absolutely not. Now, if you're asking me, do I believe that Phil was protected? I absolutely do believe that. And we'll talk about that in the next video, guys. We got some controversy regarding the judging. We got some crazy stuff, but it's gonna take me a while to make that video. Anyways, as far as this example, again, it was always a crazy battle. These two guys were always 1 and 2, but Phil Heath was always slightly better. It was always obvious. And I know it's difficult for Kai to accept that because he is, in my opinion, 5th best bodybuilder of all time. If you put them all on one stage today, with today's modern judging criteria, I would have Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath, Jay Cutler, and then Kai Greene. In the top 5, but actually in 4th spot. In that 5th, we can talk about maybe Dexter Jackson 2008, or maybe even Samson when he won his Mr. Olympia, or Hardy when he won the Arnold Classic, but I would rather go with Dexter, I'm pretty sure about that. So Kai Greene, in my opinion, is the 4th best bodybuilder of all time, but Phil Heath is the 2nd best, right after Ronnie Coleman. So Kai was on every time. He was in great condition, he was super big, but for example, he was wider in the shoulders than Phil, but Phil had bigger delts. He had great separation in the chest, but Phil had thicker chest. He had better abs than Phil, but Phil had a smaller waist. Kai had better bicep peaks, Phil had more thickness to the triceps. Kai was super wide in the lats, but Phil had thicker traps. Both of them were always in great condition, they were always bring a great peak. It's just Phil who was a little bit more complete and bubbly, and okay, maybe he was a little bit more protected, but still, I don't know if there is a Mr. Olympia in which Kai should have won instead of Phil. But hey, yeah, again, I understand. Kai never won the Mr. Olympia and he was so close to doing it. Whatever you guys think about this thing, about Kai saying that Phil was protected, tell me down below in the comment section. What do you think about Kerith Bajo versus Beef Stew thing? Who was right there? And do you think Iain Valliere is going to come back? And if he does, is he going to do a PMMA procedure? Whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Let's reach those 60K by the end of this year, guys. Please do me a favor. It's not a lot to you, but it means a lot to me. Once again, hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon, guys. All the best and bye-bye.